So the New Orleans Pelicans went ahead and made the trade for Dejounte Murray in hopes that he will be the game changer that they need. This team struggled a lot this season when it came to battling back into the game, losing all 22 games where they trailed going into the fourth quarter. They needed someone who could step up in those clutch moments, and Murray seemed like the perfect fit. He's not just a solid point guard who can get his guys open, as he can also create a shot for himself when it matters the most. Just this season alone, he hit 3-game winners against top 10 defenses like the Miami Heat, Orlando Magic, and the Boston Celtics. With his size, vision, and scoring versatility, Dejounte can fill many gaps for this team that will elevate them to the next level. Say it's one of those situations where it's a tie game with only 5 seconds left, Dejounte doesn't mind stepping up to the plate by bursting towards the middle of the floor to get Markel's momentum going that way, snatch back hard going straight into a hezzy, and at this point, it's straight cash. Now let's all go into our imagination and assume that this is Zion running off this screen. Well, the connection on those backdoor lobs will be nasty. And with his ability to attack angles, Murray wants to go here with the pass, but since the defense is playing the passing lane, Murray pushes downhill to not only pull his man to him, but to also make Claxton shift over, so when he snatches back, he can get the opening to hit a Kongwu, who then gets in for the float. The value Murray brings to this team is tremendous, and when looking at his shot creation, this is a key aspect that makes him so special. With him being effective in that mid-range area, this will put tons of pressure on the defense constantly, and once he gets in his zone, well, it's pretty much game over. This season, Murray showcased his proficiency from the mid-range, converting 49% of his 3 attempts per game, and when looking a little deeper, he was highly efficient from the right side, where he knocked down 57% of these, which is well above league average. Whether it's him pulling up off the dribble over the defender, or simply finding his spots within the flow of the offense, Murray's scoring in this area is truly simplistic, but also very hard to guard. These exact moments right here with the Pelicans got Murray for, and you can see that when operating on the court, it's not even about getting a lot of space, it's just about getting to his spots as he rises up over Jrue Holiday like it's nothing. It really doesn't matter who's on him, as Murray will attack downhill hard, and when stopping on a dime, you can see that he's now where he wants to be, so with that lift and high release point on the jumper, there's practically nothing the defense can do. It's highly important to have that in-between area in your bag because it'll keep the defense guessing, as when Murray puts pressure on them getting downhill, he can pull back abruptly, catching them off guard, leaving him with a clean look at the basket. Since Murray loves driving towards the rim, averaging 15 per game this season, defenses will be playing the drive heavy, so here's when the snatchback can open up a gap of space between him and the defender, and if you look at the release point on this jumper, it's so high that the defense doesn't even try to contest it. You'll honestly think he's going to attack the rim simply because the angle is widely available, so when he pulls back stopping on a dime, it's hard for the defense to stay connected, resulting in a bucket right over the top. Like we said earlier, it's all about getting to his desired area on the court, and that snatchback is just a tool in the bag he can use to get to his spot. Let's say he wants to switch it up, well, Dejounte will start to feed these abrupt crossovers that make defenders play Just Dance Revolution, and with him planting quickly to get into the shot, it makes it hard for the defense to time when to contest. Given that he's 6'5", Murray is still able to get low on these crossovers to really sell an attack towards the paint, and all it takes for you to be out of place for a split second, and he'll capitalize on the play. These same moves can be used to attack the rim for opportunities in close, but opposed to the mid-range, Dejounte isn't the best finisher when it comes to getting to the rim, so that's why the mid-range becomes so key. When you can shift defenders with these sharp crossovers, it can make it challenging for them to anticipate the next move, which leaves them constantly at his mercy. When you build on that further, you'll notice that it's not just that these crossovers are sharp, but they're also quick as well. He'll size you up slowly before exploding into this crossover, and now since the threat of him getting downhill is present, Champagnie opens up his hips all the way trying to play the drive, and this right here is just way too much space to be giving up. Those rapid movements allow him to shift the defenders and exploit even the smallest gaps in the defense, and if you're too slow to react, well, it's pretty much a done deal. Like I said earlier, his shot creation game isn't really all that complex. It's more simplistic and get right to it to grab a bucket. If you watched a lot of his game, you'll notice that this approach pretty much leads into all aspects of his skills, as when it comes to his passing, Dejounte isn't going to try to make the most difficult or flashy pass, he's just going to find the right opportunities to set up his guys and let them go eat. The Pelicans needed that true point guard presence over there, and with Murray averaging 6 assists with 11 potential assists thrown per game, it shows you how well he can find his teammates on the floor. It may not look like a lot to you, but when Murray can attract the attention of 3 defenders off the pick and roll, this is when you get many options. Not only can he kick it out right here and have a 3-point opportunity, but this can also lead to a drive to the rim when attacking the closeout, or you can find your big man rolling to the basket. So with patience, Murray stays calm, cool, and collected, and drops this off to Capella cutting on the backside. Those same skills we touched on are what open up his facilitating, as this snatchback completely breaks Dean Wade, so now with 2 defenders' attention on Murray, Okongwu can now cut to the basket behind Allen with ease for the bucket in close. As a result of him being able to get downhill with such a quickness, it'll constantly pull defenders in, but making that crucial mistake of allowing guys to sneak behind you will never work, and Murray will wrap this pass right around you to set up Capella for the gimme inside. Now I know we touched on Dejounte not being the greatest finisher, but he's still a threat to most defenses when getting inside, so these looks become open a lot, and now it's all up to Murray to put the pass on the money. This ability to collapse the defense will open up so many looks for the Pelicans, because a lot of the time you'll see Zion in this dunker spot where Capella is currently located, so with a simple drop off after getting the defense to commit, it's basically a warm up bucket at this point. Just so we can all see it with Zion himself, you can see him patiently waiting for the drop off once Ayton commits to Murphy on this drive, and we all know what happens next. Now instead of Murphy having to drop that off, it'll be Dejounte instead, and when you take those playmaking duties out of guys' hands and allow Murray to handle it, it'll open up pick and roll reads like this where there's now 2 shooters on the opposite side who Zion can pass it to, but also he'll have the option to take it head on to convert the bucket past the defense. With Murray having that quick reaction time and to find his guys on the floor, it doesn't just help him on the offensive side, because when you look at Murray's defensive stats, he averaged 1.4 steals per game and was ranked at number 6 in the league in deflections with 3 per game. If you watch closely right here, Murray's going to tell Hunter to cover the middle, which will take away this role from Bam Adebayo. So now with Murray knowing that Kyle Lowry is open on the strong side corner, he sits on the first pass to Jaime Jaquez Jr., but this is simply just bait, so when the pass is thrown, he can jump up in the air to steal it. Defensively, Dejounte is great at sitting on one guy to take away the first option, and then once the pass is made to who may seem open, his long arms and anticipation cause the defense to throw a turnover. The Pelicans may have traded away Dyson Daniels, who was a solid defender, but in return, they got Murray who can equally provide defensive skills that can uplift his team. It's not often you get a guy who can stay locked in on defense like Murray does, and you can especially see this when guys initiate that 2-man action, as Murray is quick to jump the passing lanes that most guards don't even think about. Usually on these handoffs, the defense will play lax and allow it, but when talking about Murray, he doesn't allow anything easy to happen on the court, so if you think that handoff will be nice and smooth, well, Murray will show you to never allow an opening for him to shoot through and steal the ball. There's just tons of value Murray provides to a team, and with him being able to shift back to being a true point guard again, the future for the Pelicans looks extremely promising, and now only time will tell what happens with the rest of this roster and how Dejounte actually meshes with the team.